Hey YouTube, welcome to my very first video. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to solve the two-sum solution in Leetcode. Let's get started. So I'm going to explain a little bit about the problem. In this problem, we have to find a pair of two distinct indicates in a sorted array that their values add up to a given target. We can assume that the array has only one pair of integers that add up to the target sum. Note that the array is sorted in a non-decreasing manner. Let's put that into the problem. As the problem shows in the description, the example shows us that the numbers, or nums, equals 2, 7, 11, and 15, and the target would equal 9. We want to look at our array and see which numbers add up to 9, which is 7 and 2. The output of that would be 0 and 1 because in the array, 2 is in the 0th place in the array, and then 7 is in the 1, so the output would equal 0 and 1. Let's go into VS Code and type it up. So I'm going to be using Java for this solution. I will create a Python solution for two-sum, but right now I'm just going to start off with Java. Once you start up in Leetcode, it'll give you this as a startup, which just starts out the problem, and we want to create a for loop for the very first thing. What you're going to do is for int I equals 0, and then I is less than nums.length, and then you're just going to do an I plus plus, and then like that. Now we're going to have to figure out how to meet the target going one element at a time. The way I'm going to do that is just create another for loop, except this time do int j equals I plus 1, and then you're going to do j is less than nums dot length, then you're going to do j plus plus instead of I plus plus. Now what this does is runs the first counter in this for loop and then goes for a different number for the second for loop to match up to the target from the first for loop. In the second for loop, we are trying to look for the second number that target is minus. So like what that means is you're going to do the target minus nums I to find out which number that it needs to print out to equal 9. So the way I am going to add that up is do if an if solution, if nums I plus nums j equals the target, then we're going to have to return a new int, not equals, just new int I, and j. What this does is creates a new int array of just I and j, which will print out in our terminal. If it doesn't find anything, you're going to go out of the for loop and put return null. Let's put that into Leetcode. So I am here in Leetcode, and I'm going to put the code in. I'm also going to do a little rundown on what I just did because I know it was a bit confusing. I'm going to make it very simple now. So the very first thing is we're going to create a for loop. Int I equals 0. I is less than nums.length, and then I plus plus. Then you're going to create another for loop to find the second number, but this time you don't want it to get the same number as I, so you're going to create a new integer, int j, which equals I plus 1, and then j is less than nums.length, and then you're going to do j plus plus. And then in the second one, since we don't want to get the same one, we're going to do a if nums I plus nums j equals the target, then we return a new int, which in there is I and j. And then If it doesn't find anything in the for loops, then you're going to go outside of the for loop and do return null. And then once we run that code, it's accepted and submitted. I really hope you guys learned something in this video and you can get something out of this in Leetcode. If you guys have any questions, leave a question in the comment. I will be sure to answer it as soon as possible. I hope you enjoyed this video.